Welcome to Focus On. Today, we focus on Pakistan, a country located at the crossroads of South Asia, the Middle East, and Central Asia. With a population of over 220 million people, Pakistan is the fifth most populous country in the world and a significant player in regional and global trade. Strategically situated along the ancient Silk Road, Pakistan has historically been a hub of trade and commerce. Today, the country is poised to reclaim its position as a major trading nation with a growing economy and a large young workforce. Pakistan offers a unique investment opportunity with a growing consumer market, a rapidly expanding middle class, and a government committed to economic reform. With its strategic location, large and growing market, and abundant natural resources, Pakistan is an attractive destination for investors and traders alike. As we explore the opportunities and challenges facing Pakistan's trade and investment landscape, we invite you to join us on this journey of discovery and exploration.
Thank you so much, Farah Khan, Trade and Investment Attaché at Pakistan Trade Commission. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you for having me here.
Could you provide an overview of Pakistan's current economic landscape?
Pakistan has a strategic trade policy framework that has basically four-pronged strategy that Pakistan is working on. The first part of that strategy focuses on making sure that we enhance the quality of our products. The second prong of that strategy focuses on the reduction of cost of doing business in Pakistan. The third segment of it is skilled labor and making sure that the labor is educated enough and skilled enough to make sure that our industry is having a complete and satisfactory supply of the labor force that is required. And then we have the technological upgradation. So when all of these four things come together in the strategic trade policy framework that Pakistan has, that is how we approach the commerce and trade within our country and our policy.
Right. What measures is the government taking to enhance the overall trade environment in Pakistan?
This really stems from the strategic trade policy framework that Pakistan has. So the core focus of ours has been reduction of the cost of doing business. Why is that so important? Because in order to be competitive globally, your costs need to be at a level where you're the market leader in terms of the best price that you're able to offer for that product. Having mentioned the cost of doing business, once it's reduced, what happens is that it translates into the cost of the product. So if the cost of doing business is low, then the product cost would naturally and automatically be low itself. I think the other things that we're focusing on is tariff rationalization, because this is global trade at the end of the day. Quality enhancement, like I mentioned, is at the heart of this, because you need to have your own quality mark and standards that you recognized because of globally. And also, I would say productivity enhancement. This all coming together improves your competitiveness in the global market. Now let's also talk about the integration into the global value chains. That's also very imperative for this very purpose. Now, how do we integrate into the global value chains? We do that by enhanced market access. We make sure that we have export diversification. We have innovation-driven products. So these all coming together make sure that once we brand it as a product made in Pakistan, it finds its market space globally.
Right. Now, are there any recent trade policies that you believe will significantly impact Pakistan's relations with other countries?
I think we need to focus on the export ecosystem on the whole. Now, when we talk about the ecosystem, one of the main things that I would personally like to mention here and focus on is the gender mainstreaming within the commerce and trade industries of Pakistan.
All right, and how is gender mainstreaming going to?
For gender mainstreaming, Pakistan has adopted certain policies and strategies where they're making sure that the female workforce has more presence, not only in the small scale industries, but also in the medium scale. So small and medium enterprises are now focusing more on also employing the female workforce. So they are a very big contributor to our economy now, and I think that has been a very key player in our strategy.
And what strategies are being implemented for the major export sectors?
For the major export sectors, I think Pakistan has now adopted the strategy of ensuring social and environmental compliance with a core focus on sustainable development. Now, when we talk about sustainable development within our core export markets and segments, so for our major export sectors, Pakistan is now adopting a more social and environmentally responsible approach. What we're moving towards is more sustainable development and a green transition, essentially. How are we doing that? We're doing that by, for example, I'll give you an example of one of our industries, which is the football industry. So Pakistan supplies 70% of the footballs that are manufactured and supplied all over the world. Now, we have moved towards also using our PET within it. We do have hand-stitched balls, but we've introduced newer technologies so that we could go towards a more sustainable development. Also, I would like to mention that we have more than 1,000 factories, and we have an agreement with ILO through which we ensure that this industry does not have any relationship or any doubt about that we're not employing any child labor within this industry. Now, also to mention here, I think post-COVID, another sector that we've really focused on is the personal protective equipment. So we've made like a lot of space for this sector globally for ourselves. And now we've done that by making sure that our integration into the global value chains for this particular sector has been really integrated, and there are no breakages and no delays in our supplies within the GVCs. So I think that's how we have made sure that I'm just giving you some examples, and these are non-traditional products, essentially. I'm not even talking about the traditional ones right now, on how we're making sure that we have a good strategy for our exports.
Right, and which sectors do you consider to be key economic drivers for Pakistan?
The key sectors for Pakistan's economy traditionally have been agriculture, textiles, and to some extent, I would say also rice, linen, and woven fabrics. So that has been traditionally our core market. But we're now venturing into plastics as well. We're also venturing into newer products such as sesame seeds. So we're just diversifying our export portfolio.
Could you please tell us about Made in Pakistan initiative?
So Made in Pakistan initiative has been designed by the government to ensure that the producers in Pakistan have access to the raw materials and the intermediate goods at world prices. What do I mean by that? That means that the producers in Pakistan have access to these inputs at costs which have been somehow managed to be at world prices so that they could be competitive on the world level. And that is done through tariff rationalization. It's also done through ensuring that the regulatory duties and the additional customs and duties are in sync and brought to a point where when these inputs do become integral part of the products that we're producing, they're at a globally competitive rate.
What step is the Pakistani government taking to attract foreign investments?
For FDI into Pakistan, we have ensured that the provision of it being fast-tracked, it being protected, and it being facilitated should be done through a single window. Now, that single window is called SIFC, which is the Special Investment Facilitation Council, which is headed by the Prime Minister of Pakistan. What this single window does is that it provides a very reliable platform to ensure that the foreign direct investment is not only protected, but is connected to the right opportunities in Pakistan.
And can you share recent successes in this trade?
We've had some really good investments coming through SIFC. I think I wouldn't want to name the projects exactly, but I could tell you the sectors. They've been in particular within the sector of mining. So we've had really large-scale investment coming into the mining sector of Pakistan through SIFC, and also through the same platform we've had investment into the agriculture sector.
And would you mind to disclose which country is the top investor, is particularly in mining?
I think that's not for me to say because the agreements are still underway, but I would say that it's not just one party. We've had 3 different countries which have been very actively engaged for both of these segments.
All right, in your opinion, what are the biggest opportunities for growth in Pakistan's trade sector?
For Pakistan, I think the biggest opportunities right now lie in the mining sector, in the agriculture sector, in the defense production sector, and in the IT sector. So I think these 4 sectors are really going to take Pakistan to places globally.
In your opinion, how can Pakistan's FDI be supported?
I think that question is better answered if I give examples. For example, the mining sector of Pakistan. Within the mining sector of Pakistan, there is by law a requirement for certain security provisions that come with the FDI that needs to inflow. So I think when somebody is bringing in an FDI and they also need to ensure that these security parameters are in place, what that does is, as a foreign investor, that escalates your costs. When it escalates your costs, you're no longer competing with the locals in the same business. So once your cost goes up, it means you're going to transfer it to your product. And when you're going to do that, your product is going to be more expensive than those who are locally functioning within that same industry. So I think that's a little unfair, and it just gives this undue advantage to the locals. Whereas when the government is promoting FDI in a certain sector, it needs to reduce the cost of doing business within that same sector for the foreigners as well. So I think that is something that is an opportunity area that we can work on and make sure that the foreigners also have the same costs that the locals get in terms of doing business.